Are you calling Mr Browning?
Yes, I am.
I did not hear you. Speak louder.
Oh, it was a quiet, squeaky Mr Speaker.
Stephen Browning.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Now we've got the voice back. Mr Speaker, I rise to speak to the Dairy Industry Restructuring Amendment Bill number 2. Very pleased to be supporting this bill. When the original bills were going through around trading among farmers and the discussions around that, I felt that the 20% cap was in fact too high. But our support of this bill is really showing that we're prepared to see a compromise because we see this issue so seriously. I think it's a very wise bill, and it seems to be very disappointing that national members could not achieve the agreement needed within their group to support this bill. I'm sure there was some division, but not inside those walls, and it's very disappointing that you're voting in bloc against it. The need for this bill is very high. The risk, as has been pointed out, of this being a thin end of a wedge towards the breakup of New Zealand's probably most successful co-op, Fonterra, is high. And it's already shown, and it's been spoken of already here tonight, about the overseas ownership. I'll also point out that in the fairly recent Farmers Weekly, when we're talking about unit prices on the stock exchange rising above $8, about a 15% rise in that particular week, 45% above the listing price. There's all sorts of pressures coming on and around this, and there could well be, in terms of a weakness around the issues of the shareholders' fund, is that the farmers, under pressure, in a real or even in an investors or traders contrived crisis, may change their stance on what the cap should be, although they've got a 75% farmer vote. What pressures we've seen come onto other co-ops or collectives in the past. We've seen what happened to NZA. We saw a major crack of NZA and then a major hurt to the pip fruit industry of this country, and it hasn't really recovered. We see that this same possibility could hit Fonterra, and I think the Labour Party bill here was going some way to ensuring that that couldn't run away very quickly. Sure, the farmers have votes within Fonterra, but unfortunately some of those in the board and certainly in the executive seem to have gone for a bit of a walk from where the real membership base has been, and that shows even more the need for putting a cap into this bill. I notice as well, in terms of the risks of weakening the co-op, the situation that the meat industry is in at the moment, and it's clear that the meat industry is looking at models such as Fonterra as a possibility of dealing with their woes, and it would be a shame to see the model that they might be looking at being further having been weakened and not being strengthened by the possibility of this cap. There were enough real solutions for Fonterra. They could have done more retentions. They over-exaggerated the redemption risk well and truly, and that would have been solved, but they carried on, and unfortunately the government of the day bought into that and has allowed them that executive their way. The direction of Fonterra, I believe, needs questioning, but the fundamental is that the co-op needs protecting, and this bill would have gone some way towards that. And in terms of the ownership, overseas ownership, it is disappointing. It was what we suggested might happen, and that's happened. And yeah, it'll just go the same way as the Mighty River power thing. It seems that some would say that it's not a problem, but we do see that as a problem. Thank you.
Jackie Dean.
Speaker, I want to congratulate Damien